There are a lot of very good and very competitive credit cards in the world, but there's also a lot of overrated ones. Today, we're going to talk about the top 5 overrated credit cards. My name is Sean, and I'm here with my co-host.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sherwin. I'm the other half of the Credit Card BS podcast. So today's episode is top 5 overrated credit cards. We'll just jump right in. First one, and I really don't like this card, and a lot of people have it for some reason, is the Blue Cash Preferred from American Express. This is a $95 annual fee card, and the bonus is usually between $250 and $400, depending on the offer you click on. And that's already a big red flag to me. Usually for $95 annual fee cards, I'm expecting a bonus of at least $600 in value or more. So already not a good start. It gets worse. The main draw of the card is you get 6% on groceries and streaming and 3% on transit or gas. Now that sounds pretty good, 3% and 6% sounds like a lot, but there's a cap. There is a catch, and that is the cap. So 6% groceries only applies to the first $6,000 of your spend. Afterward, I think it just reverts back to the 1%. Now, $6,000 of groceries is not a lot. I'm not saying it's not a lot to spend on groceries, but I'm saying it's not a lot of cash back you could potentially get back from this. So 6% of $6,000 is merely $360. Okay, and then $360. You have to remember you need to subtract the $95 annual fee because that's a cost you incur for keeping the card open. So then you're left with $265 in cash back per year that you could earn from the 6% grocery category. $265 is only 4.42% of $6,000. So I feel like their marketing is very misleading. It's not 6% in cash back, really. It's 4.42% after the $95 annual fee is factored in. So, Sean, thoughts about this multiplier situation?
I think I totally agree. It's totally overrated, and it's worse than the City Custom Cash, right? 'Cause City Custom Cash, you can get 5% back on up to $500 in spend per month, no annual fee, $500 times 12 months, that's $6,000, same cap, but you'd actually be earning a higher cash back percentage just by getting a no annual fee card and then putting all of your grocery spend on that card, assuming, of course, it was pretty flat, as in you're spending $500 a month.
Yeah, and
so
I like the City Custom
it's just
Cash
not a
more
good card.
because first of all, it's no annual fee, so you don't have to figure out what I need to spend on the card to break even, unlike this card. But also because the City cards earn thank you points, which can be cashed out for cashback and redeemed at 1 cent per point, but could potentially be combined with their Premier card for more value to transfer to travel partners if you are interested in that. And therefore, with the City Custom Cash now in the market, there is no reason to hold the Blue Cash Preferred long term. And Sean,
yeah,
I think
totally
it's
agree.
worth talking about some of the other quote unquote benefits that this card comes with, which includes a $7 monthly Disney bundle credit, which to me is perplexing because you have to spend $9.99 or more per month. I guess if you are someone who spends money on Disney Plus anyway and don't have the Platinum card, then this could make sense for you. But I wouldn't use this to help justify the annual fee, especially because the Platinum card gives you $20 digital entertainment credit every month, which is enough to cover the entire Disney Plus subscription, but $7 isn't. Sean, thoughts on this?
Yeah, I find it's really it's designed to make you feel like you're getting more value than you are, similar to the Platinum card to a degree. But you're paying a $95 annual fee card. You're effectively getting worse multipliers. You're getting a couple of coupon book, very intangible credits, and so it's just not something that I find to be you're never going to be getting significant value out of the card. Let's just put it that way. There's just no situation where it's oh my god, me getting this card fundamentally changed something for me. Just not going to happen.
I mean, even $10 per month on Equinox Plus, I'm not even going to spend time talking about that. Okay, let's move on to the one of our honorable mentions, actually, so I'm not going to include this in our top 5, is the US Bank Shopper Rewards, which actually has a very similar structure to the BCP. It has a $95 annual fee or 6% cash back on $1,500 per quarter on top 2 retailers. And there's some 3% cashback category is 1.5% everything, which are not particularly competitive because they both 6%, 3% are capped. You're not really going to get much value if you do the same math. So that card is a skip for me. Let's move on to the next card, which is the Costco card, which is very popular. So Sean, why do you think the Costco card is so popular?
I mean, I think a lot of people associate Costco with a good value, right? That's just an automatic association people have. So you're a Costco member, you shop at Costco, you get good deals a lot. You're like, oh, let me get the Costco card. Probably it's going to be good deals, right? The multipliers are pretty mid. So like, remind me, Sean, it's 4% on gas, right?
Yeah. 3% on dining.
It's like 2% at Costco.
Yeah, so 4% gas,
dining, 2% Costco.
I think that's capped at 6,000. Oh no, or it might be uncapped. I don't remember. 4% cash back on gas is not bad by any means. 3% on dining, travel, 2% on Costco and Costco.com, and then 1% everything else. So I wouldn't say they're that bad, opinion, but again, it's likely not going to move the needle that much, especially because of, I think, the biggest problem with the card, which is the sign-up bonus. Historically, I've seen it be a rotisserie chicken or a tote bag,
or nothing.
I love the rotisserie chicken from Costco precisely because it's worth $4.99, and precisely because it's worth $4.99 makes this bonus particularly horrible. You're giving up a 524 slot for essentially no bonus at all. And the Costco card is not even the best card to use at Costco. I mean, you earn 2% cash back at Costco, but there are other Visa cards. By the way, Costco only accepts Visas. There are other Visa cards that are 2% back on everything, such as the Wells Fargo Active Cash, which you could use at Costco. I don't see why you would need to pick this card in particular. I mean, 3% on dining is good, but a lot of cards already offer that, including 3x transferable points, many cards, if not more. And the best card that I recommend people use at Costco is actually the US Bank Altitude Reserve Visa, because with mobile wallet, you can earn 3x points, and those points are worth 1.5 cents per point each when redeemed for travel. So you're earning 4.5% back, which far exceeds the 2% back you get from Costco. So to me, the Costco card is skip. I mean, it doesn't have an annual fee in of itself, but you can argue Costco membership is required for the card, so there's kind of a fee in that sense. But yeah, it's a skip for me. Sean, I think you'd largely agree.
Yeah, it's not a card, again, that's going to be making any significant difference. And you'll see this is a trend. Most of the cards we have here are pretty much like multiplier-based cards, where for 99% of people, you're not spending enough money to where the multipliers you'd be earning on the card make any significant yield difference to you, fundamentally speaking, right? Yeah. Whereas points cards, if you're able to take a really interesting trip, it might. So I think we should move on to the next kind of set of cards. We're counting it as one. The Chase Sapphire Preferred and Chase Sapphire Reserve. So these are very popular cards. They're pretty much the card that everyone gets when they kind of get into the credit card game as a travel card. And the reason these cards are overrated, so the Sapphire Preferred, remember, you get like 2x on like travel, 1x and everything. The Sapphire Reserve is 3x in travel, 1x and everything. Those are the main multipliers. And, they unlock the ability, if you get some travel insurances with each of the cards, and you unlock the ability to transfer Chase points out to partners, which is very, very important. But the reason these cards, in my opinion, are overrated is, again, we're not saying these are total trash cards, but just that they're overrated. Everyone talks about this. Everyone recommends them. But like the effective annual fees aren't great, right? You're paying a $95 annual fee on the Sapphire Preferred with getting no real tangible benefits. And I mean, except I guess the portal hotel credit, which kind of sucks. You get a $50 yearly credit for the Chase portal. The Sapphire Reserve is a bit better. It's $550. You get a $300 travel portal, or just a general travel credit. But then there's like not even like really any other tangible perks. They removed the Priority Pass restaurants access from the Sapphire Reserve. So there's really not like anything groundbreaking for these cards. I personally prefer the Ink Preferred to be my card that I can transfer points out. And I find that these cards, again, any card, like they market themselves like general travel cards, but like the only real perk they give is like some travel insurances, right? And I guess a lounge membership on the Sapphire Reserve. There's nothing like status wise you're getting. There's not any insane multiplier you're getting. There's not any insane benefit access you're getting. Everything that these cards provide could be replicated pretty effectively with other more competitive cards.
Yeah, I mean, I do think the Sapphire Preferred could still be useful in two circumstances. So one is just to get the sign-up bonus and then downgrade it after a year to a Freedom card to avoid continue paying the annual fee. Keep in mind that the Sapphire bonuses are available once every 48 months. So you could potentially go in for a second round, if you space it out. And the second thing is, I still find it a good card to recommend to beginners. I mean, I still think the Chase Ultimate Rewards ecosystem is useful to get started to understanding points and miles, and has a lower learning curve than Amex, for example. And moreover, some people just don't want to apply for business cards, and they still want to get started. So I do recommend this one. And I think it's a mistake to ignore business cards, because I, like Sean, also think the Ink Preferred is the better option to have a points transferable card. But, if you need a points transferable card that's not a business card, the Sapphire Preferred is still the way to go. And you can get a lot of value out of transferring to Hyatt, for example. So that's by no means not something we should dismiss entirely. But I do agree that the cards itself just don't provide that much crazy value.
Definitely, yeah. And so, Sherwood, why don't you talk about the honorable mention we have here, the Chase Freedom Unlimited?
Yes, so, I mean, the Chase Freedom Unlimited, I also regard as a bit overrated. I mean, the main draw of the card is that it earns 1.5x back, and you're earning Ultimate Rewards points, which can be combined with the CSP or CSR for travel. And, if you're doing non-category spend, 1.5x is definitely better than, the 1x you'd be earning on the CSP, for example. So I would recommend it in that sense. But it's just, the bonus is usually only around 20,000 points, $200, which, pales in comparison to a Sapphire bonus or an Ink bonus. My recommendation for people would be just to go for the Chase Ink Unlimited, which earns 1.5x on everything, but usually comes with a very juicy bonus of at least around 75,000 points. By the way, if you're interested in signing up for any of these cards that I'm recommending, please consider using the links in the description below. It greatly helps us out.
Definitely. Yeah, I agree. The pretty trash card. I mean, it's fine, but it's like, for how overrated it is and how good of an alternative you have with the Ink, it just makes more sense.
Yeah, I would also say the 1.5x is not
probably
the best for catch-all. Like, Citi has Double Cash, which is 2x. Capital One has the Venture X, which is 2x. Amex has the Blue Business Plus, which is 2x. So Chase, 1.5x is a little below industry standard, I would say, unless you really want to earn a bunch of Hyatt points, because they're the only thing that transfer to Hyatt. Otherwise, a 2x card probably makes more sense.
For sure. And so the next card on this list is the Amazon Prime cards. Whether they're issued, there's one issued on the business side from Amex, and then one on the personal side from Chase. The main appeal is if you have an Amazon Prime membership, you can get the higher tier card and earn 5% back on all your Amazon purchases. And, this sounds nice, and it's a decent multiplier, but there's a couple problems. One, there's no significant sign-up offer on the card, right? You're not getting several $100s in value. You're maybe getting kind of like a mid-tier, maybe $100, $200 Amazon gift card. Depends on the sign-up offer at the time. But nothing like that insane, right? And I think 5% on Amazon purchases is pretty, it's fine. But again, people, I think, overestimate how much they buy on Amazon. Like, you may buy in a high frequency from Amazon, but usually the volume isn't that insane. And I feel like people just overestimate the amount they're going to be earning from this compared with getting, let's say, a nice, big, fat, juicy sign-up bonus from a different card, which gives you immediate value up front.
Yeah, I mean, my thing with the Amazon card is I still think 5% cashback is very strong, but I have ways to get even more value out of my Amazon purchases by using other strategies, other cards. For example, I frequently buy Amazon gift cards at grocery stores or when there's a Freedom Flex category, so I can earn 5x points rather than 5x or merely 5% cash back, because 5x points is much more valuable. It's worth at least 5% cash back, but more if I transfer them to transfer partners. And then I use those Amazon gift cards for my Amazon purchases, so it turns out to be a 5x return rather than a 5% return. You can also use an Ink Cash card to purchase Amazon gift cards at office supply stores and earn 5x points, which again is more valuable than 5%. And oftentimes Amazon.com itself will be a Freedom category for a quarter, so you could use that to reload your balance and earn 5x points. So that's what I prefer to do rather than get an Amazon card. Sean, does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, let's move on to the next card, which is the Amex Gold. Now, this one is a bit controversial. So, Sean, what's the main draw of the Amex Gold?
So the idea is you're paying a $250 annual fee and you're getting credits back, right? You're getting a $10 Uber $10 Eats credit, and then you're also getting a $10 dining credit, which is restricted to certain vendors like Grubhub, Cheesecake Factory, Shake Shack. Now, the thing, so people are like, oh, it's an effective $10 annual fee. Not really, because, how often, people might use, Uber Eats and Grubhub and stuff like that, but, honestly, I have the card. I feel like I'm forcing myself to use the credits all the time. But the reason people do this is because you're going to get 4x points on global restaurants, uncapped, and 4x on US supermarkets up to $25,000 in spend. Now, I want to say I have this card. I actually do enjoy the card a bit, but it is overrated. Everyone talks about it. Everyone recommends it. I think the pro of it is usually they have a pretty nice welcome offer attached. So that's very good. And the multipliers on the service are very good. The con, of course, is the fact that you're paying this big annual fee where the credits you're receiving back aren't super tangible. Whereas the Platinum card, you're paying a lot of an annual fee to get back some some fairly intangible credits as well. The fact is you can actually still make an argument for how big the volume of the credits is in the Platinum, that you're actually getting a pretty, fair deal. Whereas in the Gold, it's even if you use all the credits, you're still paying $10. And I think for the vast majority of people, it would be very tough to justify that those credits are worth full value.
Yeah, I'll definitely say it's not full value for me because, from my experience, Uber Eats and Grubhub have, the food on there, the prices are higher than if you, I was going to say book directly, but order directly with the restaurant. So you're already paying a surcharge there, so it doesn't make sense that it's full value. Also, using it in $10 per month increments is likely going to force you to spend additional money that you wouldn't otherwise spend. It's hard to get an order exactly at $10, right? So most likely you're going to be spending additional money. So, I don't really buy that it's a $10 effective annual fee. That being said, I would get this card for the sign-up bonus and possibly ask for a retention offer after a year. And make sure, you're not just Googling Amex Gold and signing up for the first $60K offer you see, right? You can do, I've seen $75K, $90K offers. If you look on incognito, try different browsers, try different referral links. By the way, our referral links are in the description below. And try to get the better offer. So that's a tip I have. I could see this card working out really well for someone who just spends a lot on dining, or that 4x multiplier is going to really be make a meaningful difference, or a lot on grocery stores, even though that's it's a fairly high cap, I'd say, but it's still capped. But yeah, I don't know if I personally would hold this long term. I'm kind of fine earning 3x points on dining of Chase and not having to incur these big annual fees, but that just might be me personally, or based on my spending habits, or I'm not spending a ginormous amount on dining.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like it's something where you would really need to be spending significant amounts to where it's a truly no-brainer card. there is a rumored refresh coming, so we'll see how that goes. And if that happens, then, could totally change the usability and how good this card is. But for the $250 annual fee and the 4X, I mean, again, I have the card. It's a good card. It's not bad, but I just think it's overrated, right? It's just not like a no-brainer card. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of these like hotel cards and stuff that people don't talk about, but it's like way easier to get value from those than it is on an Amex Gold.
I mean, two cards I would recommend people look into if they want higher multipliers for dining for some reason. The US Bank Altitude Go offers 4x on dining, but it's 4% cash back and doesn't have the higher potential value, but it's no annual fee. Also, the City Custom Cash dining is one of the monthly categories. So if that's your top spending category, you'll earn 5x points on that, which is pretty good. And that one's also no annual fee. So there are a lot of good alternatives to consider, and don't always just go for what everyone on YouTube recommends.
Definitely, yeah. I think that's it. Did you have anything else?
No, so I think that's it for today's episode. If you enjoyed it, please consider liking and subscribing. It greatly helps support our channel. Again, consider using the referral links in the description below if you want to sign up for any credit cards. And finally, Sean, why don't you plug our Discord?
So if you want to connect with an elite group of award travelers and credit card enthusiasts entirely for free, check out the Traveling Discord group at the link in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next week.